What is up, BTC Media and everybody watching the Halving live stream event? Hope everyone's having a great time. My name's Phil Geiger. I'm the Director of Product Marketing at Unchained Capital. Thanks so much for having me. Today I'm going to show you a speed run of how to build a multi-signature vault. So in just a few minutes, hopefully less than 5 minutes, we'll get set up on a multi-sig vault where we control 2 private keys and Unchained Capital holds that 3rd private key. Now, why would we want to consider moving our funds to multi-signature? Well, if you're holding your own private keys, you might know that sometimes as the value of Bitcoin increases, it gets a little bit harder to sleep at night. Are your devices secure? Is your recovery seed secure? With single signature, your device and your recovery seed are single points of failure. If somebody gets a hold of your recovery seed, they have immediate access to your funds. Multisig fixes this. In a 2 of 3 quorum, no single key is a point of failure anymore. So you could lose a key and an attacker wouldn't have enough information to even find your Bitcoin. So multi-signature, while it does increase the complexity of your operational security a little bit, does give you a lot of security because of that redundancy and the lack of a single point of failure. So at Unchained Cap, what we're doing is building a Bitcoin native financial services platform. And what that means to us is that as much as possible, we're putting private keys in the hands of our clients. Not your keys, not your coins, don't trust, verify. We've really internalized those mantras that Bitcoiners have come to know, and we tried to build a platform for Bitcoiners. So I'm going to show you a quick demo. I'm going to share my screen, and we'll hop into it. So as you can see here, we're at the Unchained Capital website where we're logging in. It looks similar to logging into any other account that you might be familiar with, but the big difference is that your funds are all secured with multi-signature where you hold private keys. So what we'll build today is a client-controlled vault. We have 2 products, our loans and our vaults. The loans were the first product that we ever issued. The funds are secured in collaborative custody multi-signature where you as a client hold a key, Unchained Capital holds a key, and a neutral third party holds that key so that you as a client can verify on-chain that the funds are where we say they are for the duration of the loan. Now, doing loans in this way taught us a lot about multi-signature, which allowed us to offer this vault product to clients. So now, with a vault as a client, you can hold 2 keys. Unchained Capital can hold 1 key. If you'd like, we have the option to do that multi-institution model, so the same model as for loans, but with a vault as well. So no single entity has unilateral control over the funds. For a client-controlled vault, there's no setup or storage fee, so we'll do that today. Unchained Capital, we view ourselves as an active member of your quorum and your security, so you can ask us to sign transactions whenever you would like. We only have 1 key, so of course it needs a signature from you, but we can hop in and help to sign transactions. But for today, what we'll do is we'll sign on our own. We'll use Unchained Capital as a backup, but say if you were geographically separating your keys, maybe you would want Unchained to co-sign more often. This is something that you can change at the time of transacting too. We'll give our vault a name. I have a Halving vault, so I'll call this one the Halving vault, just so that we have both names, both titles represented here. And here's where the magic happens. So we have, at this point, an account with Unchained Capital, but we don't have any associated Bitcoin address because we haven't shared public key data in which to combine and build an address. So now I'm going to plug in my devices and actually share public key data from the devices. Now, private key data is never shared with Unchained Capital. That's always secured on your hardware wallet and as a recovery seed. But it's okay to share public key data with third parties that you trust, because public key data gives third party ability to see what's happening in the address, but doesn't give a third party the ability to move any of the Bitcoin. So we will name our keys after economists today. So this is Hop. I'm working with 2 Trezors. I'll hit connect to Trezor. We're taken away from Unchained Capital and we're now speaking directly with Trezor. And Trezor understands that we're trying to export a public key, and that's okay. That's what we want to do. We'll enter our PIN, and this is, of course, my demo device, so I have a weak PIN. You should have a stronger PIN. And now my Trezor has spit out an XPub. And with that, we've created one key. Now, let's create the second key. So now I have my black Trezor I'm plugging in here. I will pair hop with Manger. What we're naming when we're naming that key is really that recovery seed, right? Because you can take that recovery seed, you can load it onto any device in the future. It just so happens to be living today on a Trezor. So you don't want to necessarily name it Trezor or Ledger or Cold Card. You want to give that master secret a name that you can remember. So my naming convention is Economist, maybe yours is Sports Teams, maybe it's just Alpha Bravo, something like that. All right, second key is also a Trezor. So we will select Trezor and hit connect. Once again, we're taken away from Unchained to Trezor, where we're exporting a public key. We're entering our PIN. If this was the Model T, you'd enter your PIN on your device. This is the Trezor 1 right now that I'm using. And there's our XPub. So boom, we've now created Hop, we've created Menger. We're gonna pair them together with Unchained Capital's key, and we'll review the terms of agreement, the service agreement, and then we'll hit create, and boom, we have our Halving vault. So now I can deposit funds into my address. So I'm just going to pull up a few sats here and show you all how to make a deposit. All right, so I'll scan my address here from my wallet. I will confirm on my device and submit the transaction there. So I'll give that a moment just because I sent a transaction from a third party where I just stacked some sats, but it should show up relatively quickly. In the meantime, let me show you around the vaults a little bit. So we give, for all our products and services, the external spending information, and we've linked to this really, really cool open source tool called Caravan that allows you to spend your vault address externally from Unchained Capital. So should anything happen to our website, we've engineered around the worst case scenarios, and you can use Caravan as well as this external spending information to be able to recover your funds. In addition, we have this video verification feature where should you ask Unchained Capital to sign a transaction, and it's above a certain threshold that you've set, will require an identity video to be filmed, and that can be found here. So you record a baseline video, and then at the time of transacting, you record a new video if the transaction is above the threshold and you're asking Unchained to sign. And with that, we have our Halving vault and our Halving vault. As you can see, now my funds are pending, so I'm ready to go. Once they're confirmed on the blockchain, I can then spend my funds unilaterally. See, not too hard. Pretty easy to get set up with a multi-signature vault. There's no setup or storage fee. So if you're comfortable making that KYC AML trade-off, I would definitely suggest trying it out today. Learn multisig. Multisig is the future. We want to reduce any single points of failure with Bitcoin custody for both businesses and individuals. So come check us out. Thanks so much for having me, guys. Have a great rest of your Halving.